if you look at some stuff like maybe from the 80s or 90s, that could actually be damaging to people and the way that men and women are portrayed in movies. So for me,
you're giving a voice to victims of abuse, assault, or rape. Talking about those hard to talk about topics, how do you pick your projects? How do you know what resonates with you?
It's my passion, and I want the world to be a better place, and I want people to be nice to each other, basically.
Hey guys, what's up? So welcome to MAP. Today we have Melanie Light. She is the director of the short film The Herd and others as well. She's worked in the film industry for about 10 years or so, yes?
Yeah, about 13 years now. So I've worked in the art department, production design, art directing sort of thing.
Right, and so this has taken you all over the world, I imagine, and you've picked up a lot of skills along the way, which in turn made you start your directing career. So without further ado, just tell us about yourself and how you got into the industry.
Well, I kind of got into the industry in my mid-20s. I went to art college and studied art, and as I finished university, I started kind of having quite a big interest in filmmaking, but more into special effects, because I had skills in like body casts and trying to make masks and things like that. And then at the time when I first worked my first ever movie, I used to work in a tattoo studio, and one of the tattooists was over from New Zealand, and he'd worked on Star Wars in the art department, and that made me just start thinking, hey, I could probably do this. But I didn't realize that. I thought you only just went and worked on like big movies that we saw at the cinema. I didn't realize that you could actually go and work on like really low budget sort of thing. And then I had some friends and they were making a short film, and I made like some bits of stuff for their short film. And then
when you say bits of stuff, what do you mean? Like
props? I had to make like this kind of like baby fetus thing, and I made it out of clay, and I made latex and stuff. I did it really super low budget, but with what skills I had to try and make it.
So let me interject as you're speaking. So you went to school for art. I went to school for fine arts as well.
Cool.
Right? You obviously had sculpt making abilities, right?
Well, I studied sculpture. Yeah, I studied fine art sculpture, but I was on a course where you could just use any medium you wanted for whatever project. So, for instance, one of my final pieces was like I dressed up as like a serial killer character, and just sort of like just stood there like this in the thing and called it Rosemary's Revenge, which is my middle name. This was like 1999 or 2000, and at the time I didn't really have any knowledge with Photoshop or anything. So I just made a poster and it was me. I was really obsessed with horror movies. We had a reading week and I just sat and watched horror movies.
What do you watch? What are your favorites?
Oh God, I remember watching this really low budget thing called Camp Blood, and it was so low budget, and for some reason I just really loved it. But yeah, and it was like back when Blockbusters was open.
Right. So I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. So that was back in the day when we had videos, and it was like 3 videos for like £5, and I would just sit there and just watch movies, and I was probably that for me was my studying.
Okay.
And I was really into like performance art and installation as well, which I still am, and I still really love art, and the use of like woodwork and sculpture and just sort of spatial awareness I took on with me when I started working in the art department.
Right. So a lot of your topics for the films that you choose to work on are very controversial. Would you say your films often have some sort of a key message?
Yeah.
Obviously. But can you